The Kings desperately need a win tonight in Phoenix, second game of their 3-game road trip before the All-Star break. If the Kings are going to get a win on this trip, this is their best opportunity. We talk about that and so much more on the other side. It's the Kings, it's the Suns, it's the pregame show right here on If You Don't Like That.
3, 2, 1.
Sacramento miscue. Carter, stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball. Fox, goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball!
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa! Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Foley. That was a major league smush.
Good evening, Kings fans. Kings and the Suns tonight from Phoenix, a battle of the 7th and the 6th teams in the Western Conference. Yes, the Kings are 7th. If the season ended today, they would be in the play-in. Let's talk about this Phoenix team a little bit. They're favored tonight by 4.5. We know about their 3 stars. Let's get right to some of their team statistics. I'll let you read those over, but this is a three-headed monster that the Suns play with in Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. Outside of those 3, this Phoenix Suns team is not very deep. They've got some young guys that are getting minutes here and there that it could possibly have a game. Nurkic, we know about him. Obviously, he was the big that was involved in the incident with Draymond Green as we put these stats down. But he's not really done a great job in the past of guarding Sabonis. And the Kings, look at what this team's doing as of late with Domantas Sabonis. 17th triple-double last game in a loss to the Thunder. The recipe is there for this Kings team today. They have to, number one, to win this game, the Kings must defend the perimeter, drive some of the Phoenix shooters off of the three-point line. I know it seems counterintuitive to how the Kings like to play defensively, because normally on-ball defense is not a strength, but you can't let Booker get going from beyond the arc. Make Durant beat you from the mid-range, because it's just as easy for him to do it from a few feet back and get an extra point. So you got to be able to do that. Secondly, the Kings have to run everything through Domantas Sabonis. You have to play inside-out basketball tonight. The Suns, very, very poor at defending the paint, poor at rebounding. The Kings have a big strength there. And then, obviously, depth, the bench. The Kings bench playing wonderfully the past couple games, despite the Kings not being on the winning track. Although we say that, or I say that, the Kings have won 7 of 11. I talked about that a little bit today on my daily podcast, The King's Court, which is your daily inside podcast or insider podcast, under 5 minutes every single day. I kind of broke that down with the bench and talked about the play of Davion Mitchell as well. So the Kings bench needs to take advantage of this Phoenix bench, because this Phoenix bench is so thin that the Kings, by pushing the pace, should be able to hopefully get this dub. But I'm telling you, this Suns team's playing good basketball right now, so it is a little bit of a cause for concern if you're Sacramento. And lots to go over, so I want to get all of you in here. I would love to have you call the show if you would like to. You can scan that QR code right there. If not, no worries. You can just throw a chat up and we will get to all of them. Hello from Arizona, camping in the desert. What's up, Mark? Thanks for checking in. Hope the camping's going well. Stay away from the creepy crawlers. I know the desert's got a few of those centipedes. Is that them? I think so. Anyways, Timmy, go Kings. Adam, what's up? Good evening. Sorry I'm late. I had Taco Bell. Hope it was good. Hope it was worth it. Swipa. Yeah, where is Swipa? Alex? Where is that guy? I don't know if you've checked or all of you have checked, but in the last 11 games, and I say 11 games because that's a good sample size. That's double the length that Grant and I usually look at. Usually it's 5-game sample sizes, but De'Aaron Fox is only averaging a pinch above 21 points a game. That's well below his season average, and it wasn't too long ago. We were talking about De'Aaron Fox MVP. We were talking about De'Aaron Fox should have been an all-star. We were talking about De'Aaron Fox taking that next jump to superstardom. Well, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander made De'Aaron Fox look pedestrian last game. Pedestrian. So De'Aaron, he's struggled lately, and he's got to get back on track. You could say, Ryan, he had 10 assists the other game when they beat, or a couple of games ago. Sure, he had 10 assists when they beat Denver. All great and well. But you look at his numbers, they're up, down the last 11 games, and even a little bit further back. So what De'Aaron Fox is going to show up in, where is he? Hopefully, the Kings cannot win tonight without De'Aaron Fox. How do we not repeat what happened last time? Go Kings. Very easy. You move the ball if you are up in that situation. You don't go into a prevent like the Kings somewhat did. I mean, the Kings usually are getting quick shots up. 90 shots, 95 shots is about the norm for the Kings per night. So that right there tells you the pace they play at. But they got to play with pace. Period. End of story. They can't be scared. And the other thing, it's so straightforward, Dorito Griff. Free throws. And the Kings have done a good job getting to the free throw line as of late. Let's go Kings. Yes, indeed. Excel. What's up? Don't blow a 38-point lead tonight. Yeah, it wasn't 38 though. It wasn't 38 against Phoenix. Correct me, guys. I don't think it was 38. Tight perimeter defense. Yeah, it's got to be better. And again, Davion Mitchell, I can't say enough. Take the scoring out of it. He is distributing the ball. He's defending. He's pushing the pace. He's not being as robotic when he's running the offense. And that's what my main criticism of Davion was just very not in tune with the flow of the game, in my opinion, for an offense and a team that's what it is. I mean, the Kings are not calling very many set plays. This is a motion feel offense. So Davion's found a nice little niche the last 11 games. He was a plus 23 last game. So I'm singing his praises, but if tight perimeter defense, he's going to have to be a part of that. And quite frankly, he's the one that really kind of brings that initial effort defensively when he comes off the bench. Or I shouldn't say effort. I think the aggression, right? The nonstop pressure, those kinds of things he brings in. And then some of the other guys it gets contagious. They get into it. And I want to see Fox bring that. I want to see Monk bring that. And Monk does that. He did that offensively. He has been doing that offensively with the energy. But anyways, yes, Davion, Monk, Fox, Herter to a degree. And the Kings really have to be prepared too. Here's the other thing. I'm tired of the Kings looking unprepared for switches. You know that they're going to switch. You know that there's going to be different rotations, whether it be in transition defense or in the half-court defensive sets. And these guys, for whatever reason, are just blowing by sometimes. And they're just not closing out the way that you would expect guys to close out. I mean, probably in my opinion, just too much respect for certain players that don't deserve any respect in that area of the floor. Guys that are no threat to drive to the hoop from where they're at on the perimeter, yet you're laying off of them. Anyways, I want the Kings to look prepared because switches happen nearly every possession. Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray. I feel bad saying Keegan's name because Keegan's played so great over the last couple weeks, especially on that side of the ball. But all those guys, they got to be ready to guard anybody. And it's one of those things that the good teams do. The good teams are ready. And so the Kings trying to get to that level, and it needs to start tonight with a win. Carf, what's up? Getting to your first comment. They definitely do need a bounce back. He's saying Kings win by 3. Well, this Phoenix team, so it's interesting about this Phoenix team because if you get in a close game with them, they're actually pretty good. And I know the Warriors beat them last game by 1 point, but they'll fight right with you. They are no strangers to close games, but this Suns team, they can give up a lead and they can also get down. And a lot of times if you get up on them, we saw what happened last game. Obviously the Kings let up in the final 8 minutes of that game, but you saw the first 3.5 quarters and what the Kings were doing. The Kings continue just half of that. 4 more minutes that game. That's a win for the Kings. So that is something to look for. Yes, they have been playing well, Edward. That's the question. Need De'Aaron Fox. We definitely do need De'Aaron Fox. Well, hello. Hi. I don't know how to do the I thing. There we go. What's up? Ryan, would you say the Durant move was a good one for the Suns given their season and their play as of late? Durant, it's a fine move. I don't think you can go wrong with Durant. I think it was the Beal move after that really handcuffed them. But yeah, I don't really have a problem with the Durant move. I thought it was fine, especially for a new owner. Edward, Kings must rotate more players in and run. I disagree. Here's why I disagree. When Mike Brown extends the rotation, it doesn't seem to work. When Mike Brown goes with kind of the throw the spaghetti against the wall theory to see who's going to play well that night, it throws everyone off. And I think if this team had established roles, like if you knew that at this time every night Malik Monk was coming in, or if you're Davion Mitchell, that at this mark every night outside of foul trouble, etc., that you're going to be going in the game. I think that changes things. I think it makes it a little bit easier for these guys to prepare. And there's not a lot of consistency with that. And we've seen actually more consistency as of late. So I want to see the rotation stay tight. I just don't know what it's going to look like. Sasha Vezenkov, he's going to be out significant time with his ankle. Chris Duarte is back in the lineup. Now, Trey Lyles, we haven't talked about ins and outs. Trey Lyles, he was listed as questionable due to an illness. I have not looked since the show has started, so I'll keep an eye on that. But if you guys see any update or if you've already have one, throw it in the chat and I will get to it. And I appreciate it. Spencer, what's up? The Kings need to make a run to soften the 49ers or give away the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was a tough day for a lot of Kings fans. Let's see. This would be a quality win. It would. But with the way Fox is playing, this team just can't ride Sabonis' coattails to a victory. No, they cannot. And that's that dual threat thing, right? We talk about the Kings being the easiest team to guard in the NBA at times, and then also the hardest. And that can happen all in the span of one game. But when it comes to Fox, this is what I've noticed, and I challenge all of you to look for this tonight. Everything with Fox, when his game is at its best, everything's going towards the basket. And you might say, well, Ryan, like if he's shooting a 3, he's going up and down. Not necessarily. His first step may be forward. A lot of times, that's how he creates his space because he's so quick. Defenders have to respect that. Well, as of late, everything's been going away from the basket. Fadeaways, even when he gets into the paint instead of up and down, fading. So I've asked Jerry Reynolds, I've asked Grant, everybody, we have ideas of what may be up because it's a drastic change for De'Aaron's game, which to us says, well, is he hurt? You go through the mental checklist, right? And there's nothing that any of us can point to. De'Aaron's not on the injury report. He's talking to the media. What's going on? But when I look back at the tape and I've watched games a couple of times. I've noticed it. Watch for it tonight, because when you get a De'Aaron Fox that's being defensive as opposed to being more aggressive, it makes a huge difference for his game, and not just his scoring game, just for the way the team functions in the offense. It takes away sometimes his ability to distribute the ball. And if Sabonis or Fox aren't distributing the ball, who's going to do it on this Kings team? Who's going to do it? So a lot of questions, but hopefully the Kings will give us a lot of answers tonight here in just a little bit. Kings and the Suns will be tipping off. Hey, I got to tell you a story. I had one of the best lunches of my life today at Bennett's. We were actually at the Roseville location. Grant, Jerry, myself, and one of Grant's friend, his friend Brian, who is a major league umpire. I'll tell you what, we were treated like absolute kings, and they didn't know us from Adam. Amazing service. The food was awesome. We had 3 red fishes and a Caesar salad. You got to get out to Bennett's. Bennett's West Side Grill. That's actually their new location in Rockland. All of their locations serve brunch on the weekends. And actually, I was there today and I saw they have a new special, $65 on Monday nights. Dinner for 2. Go to bennettsrestaurants.com for more information, gift cards, and anything else. And by the way, too, Bennett's, they do catering orders and big to-go orders if you are thinking about doing takeout one of these days. But we appreciate Bennett's and all of our sponsors here on If You Don't Like That. So Kings Suns tonight, we know the story. No, Jordan, the redfish. Maybe that's another name for red snapper. I don't know. They call it the Pacific redfish, the blackened. I think it's blackened Pacific redfish. Best thing. Well, I can't say best thing. Everything there's amazing, but yeah, it was so good. So anyways, Kings and Suns tonight. Lot of questions to be answered about this team. Edwin hopping in on the Fox conversation. I completely agree. Fox is not driving to the paint, and it's really hurting the offense and the team overall. Well, and that's kind of the thing. It's the whole like downhill effect, right? When somebody's having a difficult time distributing or just getting into the flow of game, well, guess what? That affects everybody else. And for whatever reason, I just sense this like weird thing with the Kings starting unit. It's last year, there was none of this dynamic about shots. There was, everybody was getting involved. Now, everybody wasn't getting 20 shots a game or 10 shots a game, but everybody was touching the ball and the ball was moving. There's too many times this season the ball doesn't move. And watch, when that happens, you get a Harrison Barnes that almost is like, well, I'm not going to say he checks out. I don't think that's the case at all, but he's taken out of the offense for whatever reason. He's not an option on the offense. Same thing can happen with Keegan. Sometimes it happens with Kevin. When the team is moving the ball and playing decent, that doesn't happen. And they're all, we're usually talking about a team that has 5 guys, 6 guys in double figures, probably all the starters in double figures and at least 2 off the bench on those types of nights. So yeah, Adam, anytime Sabonis gets triple-double, we should win that game. I completely agree. We haven't always done that this season. No, think about the season. If you're Domantas Sabonis, how frustrated could you be? I mean, that speaks even more to his character because he's playing the best basketball of his career right now. And regardless of whether it's because of an all-star snub or whether it's because of he's not getting enough shots, whatever the reason may be, he brings it every single night. He doesn't need the extra motivation. So there needs to come a point where if I'm tired of seeing things not work out, and let me know how you guys feel about this as well. I don't like clearly seeing things broken at times on offense, but then, guys not being moved around, changes not being made, adjustments not being made. So those are the little things to me that I'm picking at. And there's not a ton of season left. I mean, we are easily on the downhill side of the season. And that's how it's been the last few years with the All-Star break. So we will see what was the logic of picking up a third center for the bench. Well, the Kings lack some depth. I mean, I think that the idea was to have probably options. Number one, that if both guys, all three guys were working out, you may now have collateral for a very cheap price to where that could be an attractive piece for a team at the trade deadline. And that's assuming you have a roster that can carry an extra spot like that. And the Kings can this year. Which is why it was fairly easy to get Keon onto the full-time deal, or the full-time roster deal. But that's really kind of it. I mean, I don't think they expected some people to be available and or play as well as they did. I guess I'll leave it at that. But it is a good question nonetheless. Damn right. No blowing a lead tonight. Let's hope. And that's Rich. So I'm with you. See, like for me, and I kind of thought the Thunder were this last game. The Kings have had the Thunder's number up until the loss. Well, I've thought the same about the Kings coming in. Well, I thought the Thunder came in, really energetic and kind of had a receipt for the Kings. I would think the Kings would have the same thing tonight for the Suns, considering how the Kings lost the last one. But I don't know. This team sometimes it doesn't seem like this team's keeping receipts, but that's certainly something that I will be watching. Big Knicks fan. All right, Knicks fan, you're having a good season. You're a fun team to watch. So congratulations. Can you see Fox or Sabonis requesting a trade if the Kings don't make the playoffs this year? Too early to say. If you had to hold my feet to the coals today and you said one of them would do that, which one would it be? My pick would be Fox. Adam, somebody's got to help these 2-3 dudes every night. Well, that's the thing. The Kings have players that can help, but I guess, and this is, for me, this is the question, if I'm the media, that I'm asking Mike Brown, because we've seen that they have other guys that can help out, that can take that 2 or 3 to 6 or 7, right? But we just never know whose it's going to be. And if somebody's having a slow night or somebody isn't getting touches, then ask the coach, why aren't you trying to get him touches in situations where he's played 6 minutes and he has no rebounds, no assists, and 1 shot attempt? I want to know, where is this a player thing? Is this a Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, Kevin Huerter thing? Which, to me, I have a hard time believing it's a player thing, because now you're telling me 3 guys that all played together last year and know how to play together, which is why Monty and the rest of the organization was so confident in running this thing back. I have a hard time believing that 3 or 4 guys all of a sudden just are not effective. I would have an easier time believing something with the chemistry, something with the scheme, something there with the personalities. Something's changed there, as opposed to 3 players completely falling off the map. I just, let me know what you guys think. That's my take on it. Jay, how you doing? Tell Kathy hi, please. And I got your text message, by the way. I meant to text you back. Pretty much we need normal Sabonis, a game Fox, and a third player to step up big time. Just a solid team effort doesn't seem enough. Yeah. And here's the other thing we're not talking enough about. A lot is being made about Keegan Murray And I've come out and said, I think he has had a bigger jump between year 1 and 2 than De'Aaron Fox had. But you hear about his defense. We see his defense. I don't think we understand. Like, we really understand because how bad this team is defensively. We don't understand how good Keegan is playing on that side of the ball and really how it kind of came out of nowhere. I think a lot of I think he always had it in him, but a lot of it was the body change in between year 1 and 2. He got more physical. He got a little bit bigger, right? He's growing into that body. But Keegan's bringing it every night on that defensive end. So when he's not scoring, I'm not going to give him a pass. He has to be a two-way player to be a max player. That's the expectation of Keegan Murray. I think the read I get off of the fan base and the read I get from the organization is that's the hope that Keegan's that third piece, that he's your third max player. But Keegan can't he's got to play both sides. But there's a reason he's playing. He's getting beat up inside and out. And Sabonis is doing it too. I hear it. I get it. I'm not trying to take away from anything the other Kings are doing or they're not doing. But I guess just what I'm saying is Keegan, there's a reason offensively he has off nights. I think that's pretty clear. But that's going to come with time. That is where it takes second to third year, third to fourth year, and he's on the right track. But the rest of them, I don't know. They don't have particularly hard matchups all the time. Harrison Barnes. If you wanted to be frank about it, there's a lot of games this year I've been surprised that teams have not straight up sagged off Harrison and doubled more on Fox, doubled on Sabonis more. But there's nights that's effective. If Harrison's not doing much, and there are nights he lights you up. So anyways, Dirt and Russ, I'd rather give Fox a week off than see LAX Fox tonight. Hope for the best. Go Kings. Yes, indeed. Lautos. Who's really playing bad defense, baby? Or who's really playing bad defense on the Kings? I just merged two comments together. So there you go. Just so you can see, I'm going to put Adams up really quick. I merged them. Bad defense, Fox. De'Aaron. Steals. I know he had the game with 7 steals. Steals are deceptive. And I don't want to take away from what he's done, but other than steals, think about the gaping hole that the Kings give up nearly every single night from the perimeter with dribble penetration. That starts with your guards. I mean, I get Sabonis is out there once in a while. We talked about switches earlier on the pregame show. Those things happen, but the majority of the time, that's your guards, that's your small forward, and it's just happening too much. Now, Kevin Huerter, his defense, actually, Kevin's has been excellent at times, which is funny to say because he doesn't get talked about much. But when Kevin's offensively rolling, usually that defense is rolling too. And Kevin's really good at staying vertical and staying up and down instead of coming over the top. So I do like that about him. All right, Adam, I'm with you. Dude, Adam, I said it 3 games ago, I think at halftime about Len. I'm with you. More Len, the better. So let's get some more Len. And even if Mike Brown thinks it's a game where it's a bad matchup for Alex Len, I still say you put Alex Len in. Because if it's a bad matchup, that means obviously defensively, his opponent's probably a little quicker, can get by him. You can already help. You can do things defensively to help on that. But offensively, you now have an advantage if Len's the bigger guy in there. And Len brings a physicality to that second unit that I love. And he's sneaky athletic. He's not JaVale McGee jump out of the gym. And JaVale, a lot of that's his length. But Alex is sneaky athletic. Yeah, we were talking about that, David. Thanks for being here on the show, by the way, on If You Don't Like That. 30 games left. Yep, 30 games left. Edward, I can understand Keegan's ups and downs because he's a second year player, like his progression for a young player. Absolutely agree, Adam. Len, get some consistent play time. Len Sanity. Look at Alex Len getting all this love. I didn't realize that everybody liked Alex Len as much as I did. All right. Well, very cool. Kings and the Suns tonight, getting ready to tip off here in just a couple minutes from Phoenix. Again, this is the first night of a back-to-back. Or no, is it a back-to-back? Excuse me. Let me clean that up. I gotta confirm. I think it is a back-to-back. No, it's not a back-to-back. Sorry, I'm talking to myself on air. Anyways, the Kings have Denver after this one tonight. So that's going to be a tough one if the Kings can't get the W tonight. But De'Aaron Fox is the key to this one. Again, I'll go over Rhino's keys just one more time. Perimeter defense has to be there. Force Phoenix to beat you from beyond the arc, in my opinion, because you do have the advantage inside and on the boards, long rebounds, etc. Secondly, run everything inside out. Run your offense through Sabonis. The Suns, very thin. They do not play well inside, do not rebound well. So you absolutely have to take advantage and ride the guy that is keeping your team in the playoff race right now. And then lastly, the bench. Phoenix is very, very thin. They are not deep at all. You absolutely have to beat them in the bench battle. You almost, in my opinion, have to double them up in the bench battle. So we will see what happens. It's a battle of the 7th and the 5th ranked teams in the Western Conference. Kings desperately need a win tonight before they head to Denver for a rematch with the defending champions. Hey, don't forget, Jerry Reynolds right here at halftime. We will be here on If You Don't Like That. And then the post-game show, we will have full coverage for you. If you have not already, do us a favor. Go subscribe to Grant's YouTube channel. That's where we put all of our shows up. Exclusive content, rants, and extra shows. Also, go check out my new daily short form Kings podcast, The Kings Court. Get you in and out in under 5 minutes every day. Get you the inside information from what I'm hearing within the organization. Talk about matchups, games, etc. What you need. That's it. No BS. So go check that out. That's on YouTube, Spotify, etc. But again, make sure you're back here at halftime. Jerry Reynolds. Kings, Suns coming up right now. Go Kings, light the beam. We'll see you at that.